Look what I got, people. What up, guys? Reckless Fox here, and right now this is being recorded Sunday, October 30th, 2016. And yesterday I went to Stan Lee's Los Angeles Comic-Con. Yeah, you remember Comikaze? Well, I think they spent like what, over $1 million to change the name, and it's now LA Comic-Con to fit in with the Comic-Con family, whether it's New York Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, or WonderCon, etc., etc. Doesn't matter though. I went to LA Comic-Con. It's been 2 years since the last time I went, and it was really fun. Let's get that out the way right now. It was very fun. I had a better time going to LA Comic-Con this year than I did going to Anime Expo. If you guys, I think I made a recording for that. No, I didn't. I know I didn't. But I had a really good time. I got to meet a lot of cool people, saw a lot of good cosplay. I went as Luke Cage, as you see right here. Yeah, I know, it was kind of cheap to do, but hey man, when you're trying to cosplay on a budget, I mean, what else are you gonna do? And being Luke Cage was super easy, even though I'm light skinned. I remember last year I actually went as Cody for Halloween, and that was cheap as well too. I just went as Cody from Final Fight. It was just nothing. All I needed was like bloodied up hand tape and stuff. So other than that, it was cool doing that. And unfortunately, there was no Injustice 2 panel because I asked Ed Boon were we gonna see any Injustice 2 gameplay, but unfortunately he didn't answer back. But yeah, that's not why I'm making this video. But the reason why I wanted to make this video was to show off some really cool stuff I actually got at LA Comic-Con, and that being this stack of comics right here. So I'm just gonna run down all the comics I got from LA Comic-Con. I'm probably gonna say LA Comic-Con a lot. Someone tried to stop right here saying it. But when I went, I got a boatload of comics, and I spent like roughly $13 on all of them, and some of them I actually get in bulk. And I'll give you, and there might be some issues that are out of order, and I'll explain that on while talking. We're gonna start with DC comics I have right now. First, John Constantine, Hellblazer issue 1 of DC Rebirth. Now, I was very skeptical about the whole relaunch of DC because I thought New 52 was trash. I mean, there's some things I did like I like the fact that they continued Batman Beyond, and I like the fact that they actually put Superman's underwear inside his suit. So kudos to DC for doing that, even if you did make DC a little emo punk like Anakin Skywalker from Star Wars, which is the reason why Superman in the DC universe sucks, because all he is a whiny emo. If y'all watch my Batman vs Superman review before y'all go down my throats, links in the description box. There won't be any DC bashing because, again, I have DC comics too and whatnot. I'm a Marvel fanboy, but I do enjoy DC. Constantine, he slowly became a fan favorite of mine over the past like what 6-7 months. Ever since I binge watched the first half of Arrow season 4 before jumping to Hulu to start watching it in order. I had said John Constantine became my favorite because of the fact that, like, aside from being a private detective, and he works with the with dark arts and fighting demons and stuff, and to the point where, like, you know, God and Satan get annoyed of his shenanigans and stuff. And all John Constantine's like, look, I just want to smoke, do my job, and bang as many dudes and chicks as possible. Because John Constantine's bisexual. But that does not stop him from being a pretty BA superhero or anti-superhero and whatnot. And he becomes the leader of Justice League Dark at the start of the Justice League Dark comics during New 52's run. Other than that, I got this because of the fact that, well, it's issue 1 and it's pretty much, I'm pretty sure it's going to be retelling the story. I'll let you guys know how I feel after I finish reading it. All in all, I'm gonna have a good time reading this, and and the moment you open it up, it has this, and it actually made me laugh, in which Doomsday is attacking, and all it is Wonder Woman tripping. So I got a good chuckle out of that. So next on my list, speaking of Justice League Dark, now again I will explain the problem in a minute. I have 4 issues of Justice League Dark. They're not in order. There's issue 3, issue 8, issue 9, and issue 15. Issue 15. The problem with it was because of the fact that they're at LA Comic-Con. They had a booth where they have like boxes of comics, and all of them were $1. So I did my best the moment I saw Justice League Dark comics to grab as many of the comics in order as possible. Unfortunately, the stacks of comics were not in order, and I couldn't get to it in time. So, really? This dog. It took me about an hour to get all these comics and try to get them in order as much as possible. So I will be going on Amazon pretty soon to try to get the rest of the Justice League Dark comics in order. I also watched Variant Comics' history of Justice League Dark, and it got me interested in it, considering the fact that the Justice League Dark cartoon movie is coming out hopefully before this year is over, and 2 of my favorite characters are in it. Aside from John Constantine, there's Zatanna, and then there's Etrigan, the Demon Knight. And Etrigan is another character that I've slowly become like I start enjoying him more after I watched the episode of Justice League recently where he teams up with Justice League. And his whole story is that Merlin made a deal with the devil, and next thing you know, Etrigan the demon found his way into one of King Arthur's Knights of the Round Table, that being Jason Blood. He becomes immortal, becomes a demonologist, and he fights crime and fights supernatural beings as the demon Etrigan. And what I like about him is the fact that even though he's a demon from hell possessing a dude, the dude and the demon actually become one, and they actually try to fight a common enemy, which is bad guys, supernatural bad people, probably Satan himself. I have not read a lot of Etrigan's work, all Etrigan's comics and stuff, but he kind of reminds me of Hellboy. Well, both him and Hellboy are kind of similar because of the fact that they're demons. Well, Hellboy's son of the fallen one, Satan, but they don't use their powers, and they don't let the fact that they're demons and they're supposed to be bad guys get in the way of them being good. And I actually do admire that, and I admire the writers who develop both these characters in Dark Horse and DC, as well as Marvel with Ghost Rider and whatnot, with whether it's Johnny Blaze or Robbie Reyes or any other Ghost Riders and whatnot. So again, I'm really excited to read Justice League Dark, and I'll give you guys my interpretation of that later on. Probably when I'm streaming on Twitch, I'll let you guys know. So lastly, the last comic books I got from DC, this was a fan favorite. And I found that these were going out really quickly comic stores. DC's rebirth of the Suicide Squad. I was able to find not just issue 1, also issue 2, issue 3, and issue 4. From what I was told, the Suicide Squad rebirth comics have become very popular since the Suicide Squad movie that came out back in August. And y'all saw my review for it. I actually did like the Suicide Squad movie. I think it was a lot better than Batman vs. Superman, in my opinion. But I know some of y'all didn't like the fact that I liked the movie. I liked the movie, even though I know that it had major problems, that being Warner Brothers' fault for making the rest of the movie DLC, because now the Suicide Squad extended cut got announced this week. It's coming out December 3rd, which is 2 days before my birthday. And yeah, so I actually went on Twitter, as you can see right here, and saying, oh yay, now Suicide Squad's getting DLC in December. Whoop-de-doo. So yeah, y'all know my stance on that. If you want to know more about why I don't like Warner Brothers practices with DC, just either watch my Suicide Squad review right here, or watch my Batman Killing Joke review right here, and you'll understand why I'm not happy with what Warner Brothers is doing and whatnot, especially with Killing Joke. Killing Joke sucked. But now we got the DC comics out the way, and I cannot wait to read Suicide Squad. That, and I actually got it from a friend of mine. She likes Harley Quinn, and she's one of the girls who says that Joker and Harley Quinn relationship goals, even though me and some of my other friends clearly tell her, you know, maybe you want a big boss, quiet relationship from Metal Gear Solid 5 or Jessica Jones and Luke Cage relationship from Jessica Jones or Marvel in general. But whatever, it doesn't matter. She likes Harley Quinn, and she likes the Suicide Squad movie too, even with its flaws. And I know she really likes Harley Quinn, so like, you know, I'll give it to her after I'm done reading it. But next we got Marvel Uncanny Avengers. This one, from reading the first 2 pages, takes place after the events of Avengers vs. X-Men. And I actually liked Avengers vs. X-Men up to a certain point. The moment when they started dealing with Hope Summers being taught by Iron Fist, that's when I'm like, okay, this is like mellowing out to like just silliness. Up until when Cyclops kills Xavier, because Cyclops is a little punk. In my opinion, I don't like Cyclops. If he died right now, cool, don't care. The only rendition of Cyclops I do like was Cyclops from X-Men Evolution. That's the only one I actually do like. Because he wasn't a punk. Well, he was a teenager. He was a bit of a punk, but you know, teenagers are punks, so and he had an excuse. But again, that one I'm really excited to read, because I actually, after reading Avengers vs. X-Men, I was like, what happens afterwards? Are they gonna have a funeral? What happens to Cyclops? What happens to the rest of the X-Men? Concerning the fact that Marvel right now is trying to write off the X-Men and replace them with the Inhumans, except Old Man Logan, X-23, and a few other X-Men characters. I'm like, okay, I kind of want to get caught up before all that actually happens with Inhumans vs. X-Men, which I think it got released recently with the first issue, or it releases like next month or so. I'm not sure. One of you, some of my comic book fans might correct me on that. Next, we got. Oh, this is actually really cool. I did not think that I was gonna find these. I have the Howling Commandos Shield issues 1, issue 2. Issue 3, issue 4. For those of y'all who don't know who the Howling Commandos are, just watch Captain America: First Avenger. Howling Commandos was basically a unit that Captain America worked with. In the comic books, the Howling Commandos is a unit that Nick Fury works with, white Nick Fury, not black Nick Fury. And they actually deal with, they have supernatural characters, like they got a werewolf and all that. Again, I don't know much about the Howling Commandos other than Captain America's First Avenger, so this is going to be very interesting to read, because I don't know any other character aside from Dun Dun Dugan, because Dun Dun Dugan is a boss. Shouts to Neil McDowell, by the way. Is it Neil McDowell? Yes, Neil McDowell. I can't get them. I can't get him confused with the dude who played Dr. Lemus. Was it Dr. Lemus? Yeah, Lemus from the remake to Halloween. Oh, it was Malcolm McDowell. I think that was his name. And this is Neil McDowell. God, I get those. The lastly on Marvel's list, I have Age of X, X-Men, which is a what-if scenario of. Okay, I'm gonna butcher this real quick. That, and I have X-Men Legacy Age of X Chapter 1. They're not in order. I found that out. They're both separate stories and whatnot. This takes place during the events of Age of X, and this is the Age of X story arc. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the rest of the Age of X comics. So again, this is gonna be one of those instances where I actually have to go on Amazon to get the rest of the comics and stuff. But for what I read on Wikipedia, because I actually found out about Age of X on Wikipedia. Basically, it's a dystopian future. There's no X-Men. Mutants are like resistance fighters. The government makes their own Avengers, which is Iron Man, Spider-Man, Captain America, Invisible Woman, and Hulk. Just to name a few, fighting the X-Men that exist in this universe, or the characters of the X-Men that exist in this universe, because some of them are dead. Beast, I know, is dead. But again, I'm gonna have to go on Amazon to find the rest of them. Finally, we get to some more comics that are not Marvel or DC. First, we got Dark Horse, and we have Old West New Magic, Kingsway West. This really interested me. I like the artwork of the comic, and I think it looks very interesting. Again, like it's East meets West in a sort of way. I don't know much about this comic series. I was told by some people while I was looking for that it's actually a really cool comic book, and it's only the first issue. The rest of the issues weren't there, so I might actually look more into it. If the first issue's cool, then great. I'll buy more issues afterwards. If not, then it was just $1. It's nothing. Next, we got 2 comics from Image Comics. The Humans issue 2 by Keenan Marshall Keller and Tom Neely. Again, I like the artwork of it. That's why. And it's Return of the Living Dead. I didn't see this earlier. Look, Return of the Living Dead. I didn't see that. Okay, cool. This actually might be interesting. Next, we have Lazarus issue number 11. Now, I was told that Lazarus is a very popular comic book right now. I don't know when it was written. Let me see. It was... Where's the copyright? 2014. This was a very popular book during that time. And I think there's still more issues of Lazarus. I just like the cover art for the front page. That's what caught my interest. Because, sometimes, looking at the cover of a comic book or looking at the cover of a book will always catch your eye. This caught my eye, so I'm actually very excited to read this. Because I don't know what's about to happen. Again, I tried to find the rest of the comics and the rest of the issues for it, but couldn't find it. In fact, for the Humans, I couldn't find the first issue. I only got to like 7, 8. There weren't like 2, 3, or 4 or anything like that. And lastly, I saved the best for last. So you guys know I'm a big fan of what I'm about to show you. Y'all know, okay? If you don't know, now you know. Boom Studios' new rendition of Power Rangers. I need Morphin Power Rangers. Not just issue 1. I got issue 2 and issue 3. I know there are more issues, okay, but again, couldn't find them all, okay? I was in that booth for about an hour and a half looking for the rest of these and the rest of the comic books that I just showed you guys. Fortunately, though, I actually got 2 extra editions of Power Rangers. They're 2 and 3. I don't need them because I already have them, so I'm gonna give them to my nephew next time I see him, because I know he's a big fan of Power Rangers. So hopefully he will enjoy it. I remember actually reading the prelude to Boom Studios Power Rangers. From what I was looking at, they modernized Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to go more into the 21st century and up to date and whatnot. Bulk and Skull have their own YouTube channel. They recap all the events that have been going on since the Power Rangers came to Angel Grove. Tommy is dealing with now being a certified Power Ranger, working with the team, and also his teenage life, and the fact that he has PTSD because of what Rita did to him during the Green with Evil saga in the show. And it was actually very entertaining to read when I first read the prelude. It kind of took a darker take on what's going on with Power Rangers. And you want to go out? Sorry about that. But yeah, so I'm again very excited to read this. I know that the Pink Ranger, Kimberly, got her own comic book, and I'm gonna pick that up soon as well. And that's pretty much it, guys. This was a pretty short video. I actually will put up another video later this week. One of them happens to be my my discussion video on the trailers that came out last week, with Old Man Logan, the movie, and the Power Rangers movie, trailer that came out, the Iron Fist, and all that stuff. I'm a little late on that. I apologize. With midterms are coming up, I've been really out of place and whatnot. but I will be putting that up after I put this video up. Keep in mind that the video I put up afterwards will be like a week or two behind. I'm trying to catch up. On stuff. I will be reviewing Doctor Strange when it comes out this coming week. Hopefully that Friday or probably that Sunday. Not sure yet. Depending on what my schedule's gonna be like, you will most likely see my Doctor Strange review no later than November 11th. If not, then it'll be a lot earlier. So yeah, if you guys liked my my little comic collection video, make sure to hit the like button, hit it with a thumbs up or thumbs down, whatever. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also subscribe to me on Twitch, Twitter, and screwtack.com. All the links to the websites will be in the description box below. And other than that, guys, I enjoy LA Comic-Con and I cannot wait to go back next year. So this is Reckless Fox. Peace out. And it sucks that I bring my morpher so that Austin St. John could sign my morpher. I'm a bit sad about that.
Superhero who happens to be black. So as long as that's okay with you guys, then that's something like a true superhero. Yeah, right there. Yeah. We're making movies, shows about us. Yeah. Except we have superpowers. Yes, exactly. Listen, you guys are being so vocal. I think we should get a microphone out here for. I mean, is that safe?
Some questions.
If you guys out here, is there a way to get a microphone?
Will you promise not to fight about it? Will you promise not to fight?
Give you guys some questions for Mike.
You'll be civil. Will you be civil and take the microphone? You'll be kind.
There might be a civil war, but
There was a mic up here for the last panel, but I don't.
There was.
It's flying out
There
right
you go.
here. So
This young lady right here.
Let's be civil.
She's so vocal. She said we better have a season 2 right here, right in the corner.
I think right there.
Start with her, and then we'll move around.
All right, ma'am.
Hi, I was just wondering how authors such as Walter Mosley influenced the show and influenced the character. There was lots of references to black authors, black musicians, and I was just wondering how that helped you approach your own character.
You know, it's a great question. We couldn't do all the things we wanted to do with the influences of some of the authors you talked about. But what is apparent in the show, and what I think is apparent to the character of Luke Cage, and what me and Cheo talked about, is the idea that as a black man who is growing up, who has read these sort of books, the literature from these authors, you're more reflective, you're more responsible, and you're a person that basically, you're a deep thinker because you know how the world sees you, and you know how you see the world. So what happens is, when I always refer to Luke Cage as sort of a Renaissance man. He's always under development, so he's kind of going through life trying to figure out where is he going and what can he become, not where he came from. You know, people always talk about, life, and I always say, and I think Luke Cage is like this, if you're not changing, then what's the point of going on? Like every day should be about like, okay, I started here, what can I learn today that I didn't know yesterday? What can I do? Like, travel the world, see new people, learn new things. So that is what life is about, because when it's all said and done, when it's over, you want to be in a different place than where you started. And I think sometimes people think where they are in life is just the best place. Like, this is cool, I don't want to go anywhere, this is the best place. Like, why change? Change because change brings about, a new conversation, a new development. And I think that's what's great about Luke Cage. He knows that he's kind of limited. He's a felon. He's an ex-felon, wrongly convicted. He wants more out of life. And I think everybody here wants more out of life. And I think that's what those books are about. Finding the inner you and becoming your best version of yourself. So.
Thank you for the answer, and thank you for the show. It was a breath of fresh air to see all of these political topics be shown in a way that made it easier for people who aren't influenced by those topics to understand. So thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
When you guys were doing a lot of that, like episode 11, so when you guys were touching on like the Black Lives Matter type of stuff, was that something that you felt passionate about, or?
We did. I mean, we didn't want to overwhelm the audience, because what happens is, this is a show that first and foremost is about entertainment. That's what Marvel's established on. We didn't want to, isolate people and make them feel like what they're watching was a Black Lives Matter show. It just happened to be a relevant topic at the time. We didn't write this in 2016. This was written in 1972. So the fact that this bulletproof black man who's unbreakable skin, all this other stuff, this is already established. It's just that it's still relevant today. And we're seeing more visuals, more recordings on television that make us think about this. But at the same time, Luke Cage, Black Lives Matter, you know, the Trayvon Martin thing, it's underneath the surface of who he is. It's not something we can escape. So rather than run away from it, we kind of tried to embrace some of that. And there's more places to go with that. But ultimately, nothing ever happens in minority society without the help of the mainstream white Americans. Because honestly, we're not ever trying to say one thing that white America is different or white lives don't matter. We're never trying to say that because it has always been through history. If you look out through history, it's been a concerted effort from both races to make the world a better place. So we can't do it alone. So we always appreciate people who are with us and or supportive of our struggle. So believe it or not, Luke Cage is for every person, so we don't want to ever isolate anybody, but we definitely wanted to touch upon some of the topics that were relevant, especially in the media. So we hope you appreciated that and we didn't offend anybody.